Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my coat collection, which has definitely grown a little bit over the last year or so. I found myself a little bit bored with the coats that I had. They didn't really suit my personal style anymore. I had had them all for a few years. In here I have a mix of my older coats as well as my newer coats, so I'm going to talk you through each of them today, tell you where I got them from, approximately how much they cost. So I hope you do enjoy today's video. If you like the content that I make, please feel free to subscribe. I upload a new video every single week. Alright, let's get started. So when you're talking about coats, I feel like it's quite hard to know where to kind of draw the line of what is a coat and what is not a coat. So I have like my more wintry coats down the back here, but I thought we'd start with something a little more lightweight. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is my blazer. This is from H&M. This was around $70 from memory. So this blazer is something that I would consider outerwear, but not necessarily a coat for myself personally, because I do get very cold in winter. So if I'm thinking that it's a cold day, this is not what I'm going to be choosing to wear. But I know some people don't get as cold, so this might be what you wear in place of a coat. Or this could be the outer layer for autumn, for example. I definitely wore this as my outer layer on occasion this autumn. I picked this one up because I really liked the colours in it. It has a lot of different colours in this check, which means that it pairs quite easily with lots of different coloured outfits. So it does have black and white as well as a brown check running through it. It is also lined, as you can see, so it does have the two layers to give you a bit of warmth. I picked mine up in a size 14, which is definitely on the oversized side for me. I really wanted it to have enough space that I would be able to layer underneath it with a chunky jumper. Next up is my denim jacket. This is something that I would reach for more in spring and summer. It is my outer layer. If I'm going to wear it, I'm not putting anything else over the top of this, but it's definitely not something that I'm reaching for in winter. This one is from Glassons. It is in a size 10, which again is a size up from what I would normally get, but I wanted the kind of slouchy, oversized, relaxed vibe from this. I think this was around $50. The denim is actually on the thinner side, so it does really lend itself more towards spring and summer. Also from Glassons, this is my faux leather jacket. It is in a size 8, so it fits me a little bit better. It's got a slightly cropped length. Pretty sure this one was about $50 as well, the same sort of price as the denim jacket. This is one that I would wear mostly in autumn because the colour doesn't really lend itself to nice bright summer dresses, but also it's not really warm enough to do a great deal of good for me in winter. I have to say I really don't get a lot of wear out of this, but I do have the occasional outfit that calls for a leather jacket or a leather look jacket. So I feel that it is worth keeping in my wardrobe, even though it's probably my least worn out of everything I'm going to show you today. Next up is my raincoat, which this is one that I actually want to upgrade and replace at some point. It is from Jeans West. I have it in a size 8. The reason that I don't like this one and that I want to upgrade is because it's not actually waterproof, it's only water resistant. So if there's a bit of a drizzle, this will do okay, but if it's actually pouring down, the rain goes right through it. Also, because it's just a single layer, there is no warmth to this at all. It does have a hood, however, so I do wear it generally spring and summer if there are little rain showers, but if it's raining in winter, I will wear my other coat that has a hood because it also gives me warmth. I've actually had this for years now, so I can't quite remember what the price was. It was probably around $50 as well. I can't imagine myself paying much more than that for something that's not waterproof, especially back then when I was on a tighter budget. Alright, we are getting into the real coats now. So the first one is one of my oldest things that's on here actually. This is my old black coat from Portman's. I think I've had this for about 4 years now, and it would have been around $170. The materials for this are 64% polyester, 32% viscose, 4% elastane, and then the lining is polyester and viscose. So the majority of this is polyester, which at the time when I bought it, the material of items was not something that I was looking at. So I bought this purely based on what it looked like and what it felt like. And I did really like how it looked for a long time. It has these really big lapels, and then it has these little popper buttons to do up, a tie around the waist, and it comes to about knee length. My style has definitely changed since I bought this. Now when I'm looking for coats, I'm looking for something totally different. I'm looking at different materials, I'm looking at slightly different lengths as well, and also the shape. Because this kind of comes in at the waist and then flares outwards, it's got a bit of an A-line shape, which is not something that I'm particularly drawn to in a coat anymore. I definitely got a lot of wear out of this over the years. After last winter, I knew I wanted to find something similar to this to replace its purpose, but not to replace the style of it. So basically I wanted a new black coat that I could wear instead of this one. And although I meant for it to be a plain black coat, this is the one that I actually found as the replacement. So you've probably seen me show you this coat in a few recent videos. This is my new coat this year from Zara, and this one is unlined. However, it does have some wool in it. It's still mostly polyester and acrylic, but it does have 18% wool. So as you can see, although this one is black and white, not just plain black, because it is neutral colors, it's going to go with a lot of items in my wardrobe. The colors are not going to clash with anything, and I really think that this is something that I can wear with everything in my wardrobe. The shape is completely different from the coat that it's replacing though. I picked this up in a size medium, so it's already quite oversized on me. I'm generally a small. It is a very like straight up and down fit, so although it's still about the same length above the knees as the previous coat, the shape is completely different. There's no tie around the waist, although it does do up with buttons. I don't think I would do it up, to be honest, but I do think that the shape is a lot more modern and a lot more my style now. And then the pockets, instead of being kind of diagonal down the side, they are square, straight up and down, which I think is a much more modern look. I've seen a lot of coats with that style of pocket recently. But yes, this is probably my favorite coat at the moment. Definitely one that I'm very in love with. I have finally started wearing it, so it's probably one you're going to be seeing a lot of over the next couple of months. Another new purchase, this is one that I got earlier in the year as well. This is my teddy coat, which is from H&M. As you can see, it's in a kind of mid-brown colour, and it's also a bit of a shorter length. It's kind of like, I think it covers my butt because it's oversized, but it's not like midi or maxi kind of length. It's more of like a bomber style, although like a really oversized fit. So mine is actually in a size 8, but you would have thought that I sized up by how it fits. I'm trying to remember how much this cost. It was H&M, but it was more than the blazer. I don't think it was over $100 though. I really like this coat. It's definitely my new style, very much not my old style. I'm really enjoying wearing this. I've worn it to work a couple of times now, and it just feels so snuggly. But I really do just feel like a big teddy bear, and so far I've not been cold when I've been wearing this. And okay, so this is what I mean about not wearing the raincoat in winter. So like I said, the raincoat is not waterproof. It'll only really keep off a light drizzle, and it also has no warmth to it. So if you compare it to the teddy coat, for example, which also won't be waterproof, but if you imagine wearing this in a light drizzle in winter, a light drizzle is not going to go through this, but I'll also be warm while I'm wearing it, so why would I ever choose to wear the raincoat? Do you know what I mean? Next up is another very casual option. This is, I'm calling it my shacket. I think it's a bit too coat-like to be classed as a real shacket, but I still think that it's kind of made in the style of a shirt, like how it looks. Anyway, I picked this up from Japan, so it's probably not a brand that you would recognize. It's from EMS. Well, that's what it says on the label. I love this as something a little bit different. It's in a very kind of light mint green color, which I love, and it actually fits quite well in my wardrobe. I actually wore this earlier today when I went out for a little excursion, and as you can see, I'm in quite a neutral outfit, yes, but it's still just paired quite nicely with what I'm wearing. This is a very oversized fit as well. It doesn't actually say what size it is, but I think from memory, I got this in like a medium. I felt really weird the first time I wore this in Japan because it was so different from the style that I had been wearing previously. And by that I just mean like much more casual, much more street style. but I've really come to love that style recently, and yeah, I feel really good when I wear this now. Next up is my most expensive coat. This is one that I picked up last year from Max. It is part of their Edited by Max collection. They don't have this exact coat anymore. This is their wool and cashmere blend. Let me find you these percentages. 10% cashmere and 90% wool, and then the lining is polyester and viscose. And it's in this, like, I was calling it camel for a while, but it really isn't. It's more of like a cool toned tan color. And this is my longest coat. This one actually comes down pretty much all the way down to my ankles. So this is one that really covers me. This is what I took to Japan with me, and I wore this every single day until the last couple of weeks or so when I picked up this one, and then I was kind of swapping between them. But yeah, this got me through winter in Japan. I have to say I don't wear it a lot in New Zealand, or I didn't last winter anyway, because I wouldn't wear it to work just because of the length of it. If it was a shorter coat, I would wear it to work, but as a long coat, working at a school and getting really messy and hanging it up on the back of my chair where it's going to get kind of wheeled over, it's just not the most practical, which is why my newer coat purchases, I made sure they were all a little bit shorter. I do love having a long coat, and I'm definitely going to wear it outside of when I'm at work, but since work is 5 out of 7 days, it's really good to have a few different options of coats that I can wear that are practical for work. This one does not have buttons, but it does come with a waist tie. The only problem that I have with this is that there are no belt loops. So there's nothing to kind of hook it through, which means you've either got to tie up your coat and leave it tied up for the day, or you leave the belt at home, because you can't just undo the belt and leave it sitting through the loops like you usually could. I've just been wearing it without the belt, to be honest, because I quite like how it looks really open. This was $350, which was a big investment for me, but I figured because it was wool and cashmere, it was going to be super warm, and I figured that it was worth it. And the very last coat that I have is from Forever New. This, I think, is the coat that I've had for the longest out of all of these. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you will have heard me talk about this every winter, because I always talk about how it has this fake fur lining, which is the warmest. For that reason, I literally have worn this coat just about every single day for the last 5 winters. This is my only coat aside from my raincoat that has a hood, so this is the one that I reach for in winter when it's pouring with rain and it's also super cold, because it's going to keep me warm with the fur, it's going to keep the rain off my head with the hood, and even though it's not waterproof, neither is my raincoat, so I may as well wear this. This has been my warmest, most practical, most used coat for the approximately 5 years that I've had it. I think this would have cost me around $180. I can't really remember because it was so long ago, but I have absolutely, definitely had my use out of this one. Over the years, this has always been my practical coat, and generally I own one other coat that is my nice coat. So if I'm going somewhere nice, I would wear the nice one, which was my plain black one, and then last year it was the tan one, and now I feel like I have quite a few nice coats, but this has held the place of my practical coat, which I wear to work, I wear if it's raining, pretty much my day-to-day, this is my most worn coat. And that is my coat collection. I am going to be probably decluttering this one here next time I do a declutter, just because I have now replaced it so it doesn't have a purpose in my wardrobe. I'm definitely not going to be reaching for it over my new Zara coat, but all of the others definitely have a place in my wardrobe. They have either a specific purpose, or I just love them enough that I'm going to get lots of wear out of them. Anyway, I'm assuming no one's going to come at me for having too many coats, because this video is titled My Coat Collection, so if you didn't want to see a collection of coats, then you wouldn't be watching this video, presumably. So that was my coat collection. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for your support on my channel. I will see you again next time. Bye!